Oh, it's already this late. Thank you for always listening to me. It's because of your company, Takachiho-san, that we've been able to get so many customers.
No, thank you. Please feel free to talk to me anytime. I've met so many people today and heard so many stories. Sales is the best job. I'm Ryo Takachiho, 29 years old. I work for an IT venture company that operates a popular coupon site. Although door-to-door sales is generally considered a tough job, it's the perfect environment for me right now. Because, after all, real-life stories are great material for my writing. My dream is to become a novelist, and I want to depict life stories full of human emotions, both gritty and beautiful. Of course, I don't just directly use each story, but focus on the emotions and thought processes leading up to them. I would be completely happy if I could win an award in a contest. I've applied to many publishers, but I haven't debuted yet. But I believe these everyday experiences will one day pay off, so I continue with this job. Takachiho, I've submitted the new contract report for you since you're so slow. I had just returned to the office when Shoichi, my senior, who is 3 years ahead of me and the CEO's son, spoke to me. Thank you, but I'll handle my own work, so please focus on your tasks, Shoichi. What a cheeky guy. You should be grateful that I, the CEO's son, am helping you out. What help? You always change the name of the responsible person to yours and take all the credit for it. Shoichi, taking advantage of his position, has been spreading the word that contracts I or other employees secured are his achievements. The CEO pampers Shoichi, recognizing his son's accomplishments, and the other employees are frustrated, but can't say anything. Well, ironically, this experience has been useful for my writing. When I vent my frustration towards Shoichi and the CEO into my writing, my pen flows naturally. And by turning negative emotions into energy, I feel like my expressive power has expanded. So, I consider the environment here, both inside and outside the company, as great for gathering material for my writing. One day, as I was about to head to a client's office, Shoichi stopped me with a smug smile. Hey Takachiho, today's presentation would be risky with just you, so I'll go with you. The client we are visiting today is LK News, a major news site. I've done all the preliminary negotiations alone to make this partnership happen. If this succeeds, our company's website's traffic will definitely increase, and it will be a major achievement. No, I'm fine alone. I've been negotiating with them by myself up until now. Huh? Don't talk back. This is a direct order from the CEO. It's probably a lie, but Shoichi will likely report it as if it were his idea anyway. I know he's trying to steal my credit, but I don't have time to argue now. Alright, let's go together. He definitely wants the contract, so he won't try to sabotage me in the negotiation. I'll let him tag along. I decided to go with Shoichi since time was running out. When we got near the client's office, we found an elderly man in traditional clothing, gasping for breath. Are you alright? I quickly ran to him and kneeled down. Shall I call an ambulance? No, the medicine. It's in my bag. The medicine, right? I'll open your bag. Hey, what are you doing? We don't have time for this. We're late for the presentation at LK News. I can't just leave someone in distress. Call them or let them know we'll be a little late. What? Are you stupid? Being late is unacceptable. I'll go alone. You help the old man. Fine. Do as you wish. The fool who is too kind. I'll take the credit again. The old man starts to recover, and his color begins to return. Thank you. You saved me. I'm glad to hear that. But should we go to the hospital just to be safe? I accompanied the old man to his regular hospital in a taxi. On the way, the man wanted to thank me and asked for my business card. Although I initially refused, I ended up giving the man my card after he insisted. After dropping the man off at the hospital, I called the client to explain and apologized. Shoichi handles the excuse well, as expected. He's good at looking good when it comes to claiming credit. Although Shoichi's presentation wasn't anything special, the materials were praised, and the client seemed positive about proceeding with the contract. If we secure this deal, it'll be thanks to the excellence of my presentation. Shoichi had nothing to do with the preparation of the materials, but he's determined to take the credit. I, suppressing my anger, calmly countered Shoichi's boastful attitude. Don't you care whether that man is okay? That old man? Why would I care? You abandoned your work this time. You're unfit for the job. What do you mean, old man? What do you think human life is? I left the presentation to you, but I'm still continuing as the lead on this. This is the project I've been nurturing. I forced myself to stay calm and argue back, but he just smiled smugly. A bad feeling starts to creep in as the CEO arrives in the office. Hey Shoichi, you've done great work! Thank you, Dad. Well, it's only natural for me to get these results. Meanwhile, Takachiho-kun, despite your work up until now, what's with you just leaving everything to others at the last minute? Leave everything? Human life was at stake. Anyway, you'll be reassigned from this case. I'm giving it to my son. Once again, I was robbed of the credit by Shoichi. Well, this experience will definitely be useful for my novel. I try to convince myself as I continue working, and one day, I head to the reception area for a meeting with a client, when suddenly I'm greeted by a familiar face. Thank you again for your help the other day. I'm feeling much better now. The man I helped and a young woman are there. They came all the way here using the business card I gave him.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the delay in expressing my gratitude.
The woman introduces herself as Yurina Miyakonojo, the man's granddaughter. It's nothing. I was just doing what anyone would do. I'm glad you're feeling better. No, it was a big deal for me.
My grandfather is currently writing a retirement memoir novel, and he almost disappointed all of his fans.
What? A retirement memoir novel? No way!
Could it be that you knew? My grandfather is Shigenare Miyakonojo. He's a novelist writing under his real name.
What? Shigenari Miyakonojo himself? I'm such a big fan! I'm amazed! I'm glad to know I have such young fans. I don't appear in the media, so very few people know my face. I had no idea you were such a renowned author. I read your serialized work every week, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks to that, I'll be able to continue my serialized work without any issues.
By the way, Takachiho-kun, there's something I would like to ask you. The atmosphere changes as Shigenari's expression becomes serious. Although my body is starting to give away, my hearing hasn't diminished. When you helped me the other day, you had a companion with you. I remember hearing your companion say, "I'll take the credit." What did that mean? I've been curious about that. Well, he's the son of the CEO of this company, so he tends to act on his own quite a lot. I see. I guess it's not good to talk too much to outsiders, huh? I try to keep it vague, but Shigenari seems to have picked up on something. He then looks at Yurina and whispers something in her ear. No, it's about us. Thank you for sharing that, Takachiho-kun.
There may be some changes in your company going forward, but please don't feel responsible for it.
What does that mean? I ask, but both of them just smile knowingly. Maybe ignorance is bliss after all.
the way, Takachiho-kun, could you spare some time later? I feel like I've known you for a long time.
Really? I'm afraid I don't recall. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I'll check on it myself.
It's a bit of an unsatisfactory conversation, but we left it there for the day. At that moment, in the CEO's office, a secretive conversation was unfolding. Shoichi, don't overdo it. Leave it to me, Dad. I'm sure the bill for Ginza's charges is piling up, right? Yeah, but I'm sure you're in the same boat, huh? Don't worry, the world's full of naive fools. Everything's fine. A few days passed, and strange rumors started spreading around the office.
Someone was approached by a recruiter outside the office, asking about their treatment and other details. Really? Me too. A colleague from the sales department and a senior from the general affairs department were also approached. Same recruiter, probably. What's this? Everyone's being approached? I was hoping to get headhunted. Something strange, right? They didn't even give us their business cards. But honestly, with the CEO's son running things, I wouldn't mind leaving the company if I could find a better job.
A few days later, I was invited by Yurina to a cafe on my day off.
Sorry for troubling you on your day off.
No, it's fine. But what did you want to talk about?
I've remembered why I felt like I knew you, Takachiho-san. I've read your novel before.
Huh? But I haven't even been published yet.
Actually, I work as a book editor at Lovekoi Publishing. I'm also a first-round judge for our company's novel contest. And that's how your name stayed in my memory.
What? You're a judge? I didn't know that. But I can't believe you remember my work. I did apply to the Lovekoi contest, but I thought there must be so many submissions, so I didn't expect to stand out.
It was because your novel was so striking. The way you captured the depth of human emotions and the subtle nuances of the characters. I was really impressed. I always wondered what kind of person could write something like that. Unfortunately, your work didn't make it past the second round of the contest. But personally, I still think it should have been published.
That's very humbling.
I want you to keep writing, no matter what happens in the future. That's why I wanted to express my support for you today.
It means a lot. Thank you so much. It would be a lie to say I wasn't embarrassed. But more than that, I felt like everything up to this point had finally paid off.
Also, I have a suggestion for your future, Takachiho-san. Would you consider resigning from your current job?
Huh?
I can't explain it in detail right now.
After hearing what Yurina said, I opened my eyes wide, but understood and decided to accept the offer, as I didn't feel any loyalty to the company. Soon after, I submitted my resignation. I hadn't been spending money on anything other than writing, so I had enough savings to get by until I found a new job. Our company was about to see a huge boost in performance due to the LK News project, but you made a foolish decision, huh? Well, if someone doesn't have foresight, it's no surprise they leave the company. It's better that way, isn't it? Despite the CEO and Shoichi's final insults. Dad, this is bad. LK News just contacted us. They want to cancel the partnership. What? A few days after I resigned, the situation changed completely. I don't understand why. We were so close to finalizing everything. Damn it, I'm going to go and ask them directly. Shoichi immediately storms over to LK News. But when he arrives, it was not the person he expected. Oh, you are... Oh, have you already forgotten? I'm the old man you abandoned the other day.
You were quite rude to my grandfather, weren't you?
Shigenari and Yurina smile coldly at Shoichi. He probably didn't fully understand the situation, so it seemed that Shoichi had realized that they were somehow connected to LK News. He hurriedly bowed his head to Shigenari and Yurina. "I'm really sorry for my rude behavior the other day. But why are you two here?"
"I'm Shigenari Miyakonojo, a novelist. My granddaughter works at Lovekoi Publishing. Now that I've said that, you should understand why we are here."
Actually, LK News is a subsidiary of Lovekoi Publishing, and Shigenari is a major shareholder of LK News. Together, Shigenari and Lovekoi Publishing own more than half of the shares.
"The other day, you mentioned LK News. When I looked into it further, I found out that LK News and your company were in negotiations."
So, we informed the people at LK News through Lovekoi Publishing about the facts as they were.
But just because you're major shareholders doesn't mean you can do whatever you want with the company, right?
"Are you saying we're privatizing this company?"
That's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? We were about to finalize the partnership deal. The deal with LK News would have been highly beneficial to them too. Yet, you've come barging in and ruined everything.
"Don't you get it? The reason LK News won't sign with your company is because of employees like you. You abandoned someone in need, berated your subordinates, and stole their achievements. I've done some digging. I've looked into your work and your father, the CEO. As a result, I simply don't believe that your company can walk the same path as LK News."
LK News is at the forefront of preserving literary culture. The world of novels and magazines has been declining, and print media is dying. I don't want to involve your company in something that important.
Realizing that the contract can't be revived, Shoichi glares at Shigenari and Yurina with an angry expression, while Shigenari and Yurina remain calm. "Don't mess with me! We've already made an advance investment in new businesses in anticipation of this deal. This whole thing was based on the deal being finalized. How are you going to take responsibility for this?"
Your rash advance investment is none of our responsibility.
I've spoken to the people at LK News. They said that after your charge of responsibilities, the deal becomes less likely. With or without us, the deal would have fallen through eventually.
Damn it! How can you say that? I'll consult with my father, and I'll get revenge for this.
How are you going to get revenge? You haven't even finalized the contract, and there wasn't even a verbal agreement. I'm curious to see how you plan to get your revenge.
Though I'm not sure if you have the strength left to do anything.
What? You're talking nonsense. Just wait. With that, Shoichi storms out of the meeting room. Soon after, Shoichi's and his father's company's financial situation took a turn for the worse. It was all due to their reckless advance investment based on the potential LK News deal. And their suffering didn't end there. This is bad! Dad!
What now?
Look at this! In his hand is a weekly magazine published by Lovekoi Publishing. The headline reads, "The Dark Side of a Popular Coupon Site Company." Yurina had tipped off a colleague in the weekly magazine editorial department, and a reporter had thoroughly investigated the article. It turns out the recruiter who had approached the employees was a reporter from Lovekoi Publishing. It was written that I had been engaging in power harassment, using my position as the CEO's son to steal my subordinates' contracts. And furthermore,
funds from contracts were deposited into personal accounts for embezzlement and used for drinking expenses in Ginza. Even the CEO, his father, silently approved of this. The embezzlement was led by him? What does this mean? How did it get out?
Yes, Shoichi and his father had been embezzling money for personal use. I didn't know everything, but Yurina had informed me that the company was sinking, which is why I had resigned before getting caught up in this mess. Before I left, I had informed the employees who were resentful of Shoichi and his father about this. Of course, I made sure to be careful not to violate any laws. So now, the only people left in the company are those still benefiting from the nepotism of Shoichi and his father. Soon, the company was in complete turmoil.
Excuse me, this is Geretsu News. Can we have a quick comment?
Kiddo TV here. Are you planning to run away? Please hold a press conference.
Oh! Shoichi and his father, standing while getting bombarded by camera flashes, have nowhere to escape.
So,
Could you tell us what's going on? Please be clear.
They stammer and fail to make excuses, continuing to be attacked by the press. In the end, they just made things worse for themselves. Naturally, the bank pulled out, and Shoichi and his father were completely cornered. They were arrested for embezzlement, along with the employees who had supported them.
damn it! How did this happen?
Those old fool and the granddaughter! They shouldn't have interfered! At this point, blaming someone else is out of the question. This is all the result of their own actions. In the end, the company went bankrupt without a CEO. Meanwhile, I had found a new job and was continuing my writing activities. Thank you for helping me back then. If I hadn't resigned, I might have gotten caught up in something terrible.
No, it was only natural since you helped my grandfather. Also, as the first fan who fell in love with your talent, I wanted to help you. Well, when I say fell in love, I mean with your talent, not in a weird way.
Yurina suddenly blushes and looks down, while I smile and hold her hand. I'll definitely win a newcomer award with my next work and debut. When that happens, will you go out with me?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
There were times when I almost gave up because I wasn't seeing results, but I kept going, believing that someday someone would recognize my efforts. Just like those two, who I met through a strange twist of fate.
Now, Ryokun, will your next novel be based on your married life?
Grandpa, hold on. Ryo and I just started dating, so that's a little too soon to talk about.
After that, I made my debut as a novelist, and a few years later, my name became widely known. And the surprise came even later, when people found out I was married to the granddaughter of Shigenari Miyakonojo.
Hello, Brittany here. I hope you all are having a wonderful holiday, and please like and subscribe and leave me those comments. See you next time.